Good afternoon, everyone, and we welcome you back inside the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. This is red turf, as evidenced by the circle in the middle and all the other markings in front of the benches and the referee's circle in the creases. Blue turf is behind us. That's where you'll find, if you're looking for it, the Brampton Excelsior's Oakville Buzz game. Yes, 11 games on the schedule today, 5 on this pad, 6 on the other. JVI Sports Network, proud to bring it all to you here in the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League as we return to action. Whitby Warriors in their black uniforms occupying the visitors' bench, going right to left. And the white jerseys with the green lettering, left to right from the home bench, are the Peterborough Lakers. They start with Landon Kells in between the pipes. Thought he was going to get called into duty there as the loose ball came close, but not so much. Adam Thistlewaite pushing now to Mitch Ogilvie. I am Matthew Carrick along with our JVI Sports Network crew. Good pair of games to open the docket if you missed them. There's a playlist on our website that you can link to from the OntarioJuniorLacrosse.com site. Early save there from Brett Dobson, longtime Whitby Warrior and Whitby minor lacrosse player. Getting the start today in his chrome silver helmet. Low stance, and that one through the legs though, as it's shot by Mike Robinson, who will open the scoring for Peterborough. "15-minute periods." If you missed it, the players have been off for, in some cases, 2 years. Man, that first game felt good, I gotta say. And as I've told a couple people through text and social media, I may need to check and see if that's still the case at 9 p.m. And even 9 p.m. tomorrow, we are in for all 22 games over the course of the next 2 days. And then we'll do it all again next week to represent the OJLL season. That shot, Dobson the save. Rebound picked up by Peterborough. Another shot off the end boards and back onto the back of the netting. Because the players had that long layoff, again, 15-minute periods as well to kind of keep us on schedule. Which worked out pretty good for the first game. Even Six Nations and Burlington, which went right down to the wire, 9-8, I believe. Or 8-7, I forget the particulars there. As Burlington takes a 1-point lead in that West Division over Burlington. Goalie coming out here as there's a delayed penalty down in the corner. And Dobson the save. Rebound picked up, and another, man, there's bodies everywhere as the ball ends up in the stick of Brett Dobson. Unfortunately not Ryan, I apologize. Set up on the other side, but it's a 1-0 lead here for Peterborough. I'll do my best to speak them, as has been the case for the last couple years. Early power play here for Peterborough. If you caught our first game from this pad, it was Mimico all over Toronto Beaches, 10-3 your final. As a hard shot there, what a soak from the defender, Jake Doolittle. And a hard shot there, saved from Dobson. Another rip, that one wide as it went low, and that one will go over and back. Taking 28 seconds or so off the penalty time. Clock continues to run here. They got a good, about 9 extra seconds on that kill. As cutting through, taking flight, up and over. Goes Graydon Hogg as he collided with Holden Lowe's in front of the Peterborough cage. Talked in the first game about some scouts in the building from various professional teams. There's also senior lacrosse folks watching in, saying it's good to see some of their young prospects coming. As a hard collision in behind the boards there. Adam Cromer taking his man out of the play. Adam Cromer, the Vancouver Warriors commit. Pass up. Here's Thistlethwaite again. That time against the grain, it skips off the end boards. Nearly made it all the way to half. As the ball will be flipped from Doolittle up for Josh Dawick. Dawick, I believe his third junior team was with the Beaches. And I'm not sure Oakville Junior A. It may have been the Junior B buzz at that point. But regardless, a good pickup on the right-hand side for the Warriors. Peterborough, quick restart coming out of their own zone as their penalty, power play rather, has just expired. And heads up there as that ball arrived on scene at exactly the same time as Kobe Hansor. And we got a mix-up up top, and the way the official was running in there, I thought we may have penalties, but just the moving screen call. As we keep her going, same officiating crew we had in the first game, Matt Garrison, Joel Furman, Mac Abbott. And yes, it is a 3 official crew here for this season of OJLL. Ducking under the defender. And out the shot, Dobson down. That was Mitch Ogilvie. 1 of 2 NLL commits for this Peterborough Lakers team. As Landon Kells is the other one going down into the butterfly to watch that one sail wide. Halfway through the shot clock now for Whitby, and the crossing of the hands right in front. Kells with the save though. Again, another rule change we mentioned in the first game. Goaltenders using the winter style plastic stick. Owen Dew making a couple beautiful stick saves. Desperation style in that first game. From up top and perhaps around a screen with the equalizer, Brock Haley. Ties it at 1. There was a cutter going to the net, and I'm not sure if all eyes were on him or the distraction as Brock Haley shoots around Lucas Osborne, but regardless, a tie game here. Roughly 6 minutes gone in our first period, again, of 15 minutes. We'll still play the 3. And if we need an overtime, it'll be for the purposes of this tournament-style season, 10-minute sudden victory. Long way to go before we may have to deal with that, however. Whitby stream into the attack. Now a bit of a slowdown as Adam Poitras will push it to the corner for Luke Robinson. Robinson had trouble connecting with someone in front, and Peterborough only 8 to get across center now. We saw a few of those violations in our first set of games, which you can watch replays of, by the way, if you haven't already, in that playlist I talked about of all games from this season. We had a last-minute change of schedule, so the playlist titles for the floors may not match up, but the all games playlist on our main JVI Sports Network channel, the one that links off the OJLL site, is where you'll find all games, including coming up next weekend. Shot into traffic here. Picked up by Peterborough Lakers somehow. They were way outnumbered in that scuffle, and they come away with the ball. Already 10 seconds gone to their shot clock, 8 left in the period. This shot again hits off a body. That's about 3 blocks already. by Whitby defenders early on. Stopping and turning, Jaden Bushi. Whitby will pick it out of the crease, and Parker Pfeiffer. Passing towards the corner, shot well falling, and a tie-up up top. But the celebration towards the crease area where I believe Dyson Williams' season has started. And this is going to be one to watch here, as he likes to put up points in big ways, does Dyson Williams. Of course, his father, Sean, on the bench, Phil Weatherup, Jim Dasberg, Connor Kiernan. One of very few coaching staffs that's remained relatively intact over the last couple years, since the last season we had. But 2-1 now, halfway through our first period. Big tie up here along the boards for this face-off before it's finally brought out by Ogilvie. Mitch Ogilvie. Bouncer up for Owen Dale. He'll now flip as the help comes off the bench in the form of Andrew Dalton. That pass nearly went awry, but McGregor there to save it. And how about block number, we're going to call it 4 for Whitby Warriors, and their bench is fired up for the work of the defense as a big hit there in the proximity of the bench. And it looked like they were about to give Jess possession, but now headed into the penalty box is Carter Page for interference. Call there from Matty Garrison. With 6:43 left to go. Whitby up by 1. In on the crease. And Peterborough will come up across center. Holden Lowe's tripped up there with the ball was Mike Robinson, and reinforcements arriving here for Whitby. And to say that slash came with Robinson on the ground. So much for the power play, which lasted all of 35 seconds. As they call the slash, Ben McDonald headed off. So we play a little 4-on-4 for 1:24. As we approach 6 minutes to go here in the first period. 2-1 in favor of Whitby. Trying to change that in a hurry was Mike Robinson. The shot comes from the far side. They do indeed score and tie the game. Peterborough with their second. Robinson was forced out wide, and that's just a nifty quick pass back to the man on the crease. I believe that's Lucas Osborne. No wonder I didn't see it when it happened live, as I looked over to the stream, which is a few seconds behind. Pass kind of blind through the crease there. The YouTube chat seems to be Warriors heavy. So if you're watching along in Peterborough, we want to hear from you. At JVI Videos, where you can follow us on Twitter. At the OJLL, follow them as well. Subscribe to both these YouTube channels for JVI. And get yourself in the chat room because the Warriors are dominating so far. Tied here, though, as Dyson Williams, one of the goal scorers here for Whitby. What a nifty poke there by Ryan Barnable. Barnable's going to go off to the races, a bit of a fake, and Landon Kells wise to that as the left arm makes the save. Rebound to the Lakers, though. All the way across floor with the pass. Tyler Hendricks a little too hot to handle. Over on the near side for Zach Thompson. Here's Pfeiffer back the other way. Pfeiffer with no help as they're short-handed and a bit late getting the rag team on here. 12 on the shot clock, 20 left in the penalty. So no sense of urgency as Adam Poitras is at a moving screen, I believe. Didn't see the call, but it takes the ball away from Whitby and gives a final chance here to Peterborough. But they throw it away over and back, and Whitby wanted the fast start. Dyson Williams waiting for it. Hidden ball between Williams and Robinson. Williams had kept. Here comes a hard shot, and it's from Poitras. Goes up and out of play. Resets the shot clock, though, for Williams. 5-on-5 as the penalty has expired. As it's played back, Brock Haley. Haley up top, low shot this time from Williams. And Kells content to just sit on it, so there's no rebound either. Peterborough, a couple drop passes now. Ben Trumbull, the latest one. Even with some of the Whitby bodies getting in the way of those shots. Not that time, though, as it's clean through to Dobson. As we close in on the final 3 minutes here of the opening period. Whitby has it. Sean Wesley. Wesley finds a cutter. And falling in on the crease was Graydon Hogg. Kells coming out to throw the pick. Him and Hogg had got into it a bit, and Hogg leaves looking at the official. Mitch Ogilvie. He passes to the help off the bench. It's Dalton. Andrew Dalton for Robinson. Back for Dalton now with traffic in front. He lets a shot go. It's wide off the end glass. Dalton wants the rebound, but so does Jake Doolittle. Doolittle taking Dalton down. That's enough to stop the shot clock as William Carnduff will take off. Carnduff stops in the corner. The O unit making their way onto the floor, led by Haley. He'll push into the corner. Shot there. Kells the save and the rebound. As we've got 2 minutes left in the period, and a 2-2 tie between the Warriors and the Lakers. Here in the opening day of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League season. Game number 2 of 5 on this floor. 4 of 11 on the day. 1-on-2 here, and that was almost always going to be the result. But look at Parker Pfeiffer still hanging on to it, and the double team stumbles before he can get the shot away. Otherwise, that was going to be some play. Out of the corner, trying to return for a quick shot down by the crease. Still picked up, though, all the way here for Wesley. Wesley up top, looking for his man on the crease. It goes wide. And we're going to get a cross-checking penalty against Peterborough. Looked like the ball was about to head back the other way. But it'll be Dyson Williams starting at center for the Whitby power play. 1:11 left in the period as the goalies take a water break. Lakers have the quick turnaround, if you will, into their next game at 5 p.m. when they'll face the Toronto Beaches, who took a loss in their first game against Mimico. Orangeville Northmen yet to play. They'll be up next against the Mountaineers at 3 p.m. before returning at 7 to face the Whitby Warriors right here on this channel and this floor. I invite you to stick with us all day long as junior box lacrosse returns in Ontario in a big way. Here's Poitras up top. Pushing it into the corner now. Williams. Hard no-look pass, but it's cleanly intercepted with 45 seconds left. Out the front door. Here comes Peterborough. 1-on-2, though, as the ball carrier's taken down. Braden McGregor. And he tried to do too much himself there. Right play would have been to hold up and wait for enforcements if they could get there in time. Now, shot clock, game clock, about 5-second difference here for Whitby, as Williams will back away from the top. Shot coming from Haley, hard off the end boards, and can't quite keep it from the over and back. 7 left. As it's picked up here by Ogilvie, he lets a long shot go, and Dobson forced into one final save before sending it to our first intermission break. Not the normal 10 minutes we're accustomed to. It'll just be a few minutes, enough to go grab yourself a drink, but don't go far. 2-2 after 1 here. The Toronto Rock Athletic Center. This is game number 2 of what's going to be 5 on the day here on the red turf. We'll take a brief timeout and be back with the second period. The horn sounds to get us set for period number 2. Couple extra seconds as Landon Kells makes his way back down the floor. Now protecting the cage to our right. Brett Dobson on our left. Again, with both these teams playing twice today, imagine regardless of what happens, barring heaven forbid some kind of injury, it's going to be both of them the entire way, as it was in game number 1 on both sides. Too many steps from the face-off there. Again, part of the rule changes to align with NLL rules, that face-off rule, as a quick jump shot. As quickly back the other way, Kells another save. And there's a rebound picked up. This is a Whitby power play for the next 20 seconds as we sit tied 2-2 here in the second period. Hard collision in on the boards and jarred free and picked up by Kobe Hanser. High stepping from Graydon Hogg and away from pressure. Now the cutter, oh, what a find. There, where just Josh Dawick was streaking in. And a split save made by Dobson. Couple good plays on either side, but the pass by Hogg looking for Dawick, that was a thing of beauty. Now a shoulder shrug save from Dobson. Rebound still up for grab, picked up by Peterborough, the shot. And McDonnell up and out of play. Owen Boyle to his man in front. Boyle again. Circling the crease now, fakes off to Hogg. Still with it, Hogg. Far side, they fake to Williams. Now back for Sean Wesley. Shot clock will expire. And I believe we got a penalty here. Two minutes gone in our second period, and Whitby back of the power play as a slashing call against the Lakers. Believe it was Dalton. Here's Williams. Looked like that was a shot. Oh, seeing some nifty ball movement here from the Warriors early on. And again, we talked about this in the Mimico game. These kids have come up together. That looked like it may have gone in, and Matt Garrison was right there. He said no. Diving attempt. Both officials signal crease violation. And down is Kells, though. And I hope that one's not my fault. No, that looks to be a great call by Matt Garrison. As we watch it back again, the stream just a couple seconds delayed as I can look over, and now Kells looks like he's working out the left leg as the trainer goes to attend to him. And 2 games today, 4 on the weekend. Jackson Hayner is the backup, and he's getting the gear on to get loose in case he's called into action here. There are 3 goalies listed on Peterborough's roster. The first one I've seen with that distinction. Deacon not the other one. But Landon Kells definitely the number 1 on this team. Again, a draft pick of the Calgary Roughnecks from Conestoga College and Fergus. Peterborough's second game of the day will come at 5 p.m., as we said, against the Toronto Beaches. If you find our other JVI Sports Network channel, there is a playlist with all the games, including the ones on the opposite floor, where it looks like Brampton is leading Oakville. They got a bit of a late start. They're in the second period, excuse me. 9.5 left to go in the second period. 2-1, Brampton over Oakville in the other game, which is on JVI Sports Network main channel. So if you're not subscribed to this one, be sure you subscribe to both. And your notifications, if they're turned on, it'll let you know when we stream and where you can find the games. Late in the shot clock here, and we're going to get a penalty, and we're going to get a mix-up in the corner as everybody and a couple others looking for that loose ball. Kells still does not look comfortable, even though he stayed in the game down to our right. Hayner has kept his gear on, so he notices the same thing we do, but it's going to be a cross-checking penalty against Whitby and a slash. Ooh. So Scott Reed going off first, and then Carter Schott following, I believe. And I don't think Sean Williams agrees. There is Landon Kells. Looks a bit better now than he did when I first looked over, but 12 minutes to go here in our second period in a 2-2 tie. And Peterborough will set up on a 4-on-3. They've got a man in the box for another 45 seconds. As look at the ball movement there, all four touching it. Nearly a clean pickup on the rebound as well from the Dobson save. Now to the crease, quick to the far side, and man, Dobson moved quickly across that crease. There was no shot to be saved, but he may have got there anyways. Kells definitely looks okay there as he reaches for that errant ball. And Peterborough will want to keep it as far away as possible. Lyndon Vanderland. It's Mike Robinson up top. Now a quick change as the last one comes in. Penalty about to finish. It'll be a 5-on-3 now in favor of Peterborough for over a minute as the first shot saved by Dobson. Hannerhan the first shot, second one coming through. Dobson sends both of them away, and it's the captain, Ryan Barnable, up and over center. Barnable all by himself, however. Tried to find Dalwick streaking off the bench, and not to be that time. 30 seconds or so remaining in this extended two-man advantage. Up top through a crowd, that's off the stick of a Whitby player, and yet again another shot block. Robinson this time gets it in on Dobson just before the clock was about to expire. And now they're digging for the loose ball. Poked at, picked up, nearly to the crease, trying to shovel a shot and force it was Zach Thompson. But Peterborough does recover as the two players exit the box, and we're back to 5-on-5. Lacrosse still tied on the board as well at 2s with under 10 to go in our second period. Dobson down to make a save. Rebound picked up here by Whitby. And their penalty killers have still yet to get it out of their zone. Look out here. That had big hit written all over it as Scott Reed had Ogilvie all over him. Pass went errant as Owen Dale comes up. Hannerhan to Dalton. Dalton will pass to a cutter, and Hendricks sends it off the crossbar. Quick outlet for Owen Boyle. Boyle to Williams, the backhand shovel pass attempt, looking for Dalwick. Man, those two are going to be fun to watch Dyson Williams, who can pass almost anywhere, and Josh Dawick, who always seems to be open. Already seen it a couple times to number 7 in black. About to say you're going to want to tune in for their next game, which comes in at 7 against the Orangeville Northmen. What a matchup to close out the sked here on the red turf. As Peterborough crashes in. Alan Corkum taking you through some of the games on the other field. Later on in the day, we'll hear from Pat Gregoire, who is en route. And I'm Matthew Carrick along with the JVI Sports Network crew. 10 on the shot clock. Out to the outside, bit of a stumble from Sean Wesley. Recovers in time to take a shot off of Kells and up out of play. Wesley for Poitras. Poitras high pass. Off the glass, low. Oh! Spinning, picking it up, not looking, and falling. Luke Robinson all in one motion. And I mean, if you're gonna break the tie, you might as well do it in spectacular fashion. For your first junior goal, if I'm not mistaken, as Dyson Williams goes and gets the ball as well. Goalies are taking a minute to grab some water. Another reminder to subscribe to this channel, which is the secondary channel of JVI. Allows us to stream events like this, multiple pads at the same time, as well as our main channel, which is currently showing the Brampton Excelsiors in Oakville Buzz. Oakville will play Six Nations again at 5 p.m. before St. Catharines and Brampton at 7, and then all by themselves, Burlington and Kitchener at 9 p.m. will put a cap on a full day of lacrosse here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Oh, huge pileup looking for this face-off, is looking for everybody to get up here. And I'm kind of surprised they did with the way they all collided into each other's legs, but 3-2 the lead for Whitby over Peterborough. Off the latest goal by Luke Robinson. From his back, no look, shoveled into the net. Whitby continues to block shots even from their own players. Now as that one straight off the back of Will Carnduff. Under 7 to play in the period. Whitby with a 1-0 lead. Excuse me, 1 goal lead, 3-2. And thought they had another one there as the cheer went up, but the save made is Lucas Osborne. Back the other way. He's got Thistlethwaite with him, and there was a late stick check just at the last second. May have been Scott Reed. But now Peterborough back to work late in their shot clock. Seems to be a running theme in this game, as that'll be over and back. And then thrown away by the guilty party, Charlie Kangas. Came off the bench to chase down the loose ball. Was on the wrong side of half. Fired it the length of the floor for a delay of game penalty. Which will give control here to Whitby with just over 6 minutes left in our second period. Williams for Poitras playing catch now as they send it into the corner. Back to the right side. Faked it going to the top. Wesley takes the shot. Kells the save. Rebound straight into the stick of Holden Lowe's. Lowe's holds up before the restraining line. Now back, big collision. Nowhere to go for Andrew Dalton. So he lowers the boom and collides with a double team. Passing back in front of the Peterborough bench. Shot there, low one that just squeaks through. And Carter Schott reties the game at 3, shorthanded, 48 seconds into the minor penalty. Carter Schott, that one found its way through the wickets of Brett Dobson, as he thought he had all angles covered, but not so, as we're back tied again, 3-3 now. And Poitras still on the power play with Williams up top. Back to the far side, Wesley. Wesley will shoot and score. As that time it went through, looked like it was just under the left arm of Landon Kells, and he wants a conversation with the penalty killers. As the lead restored, 4-3 now, with 5 minutes to play in the second period. Tied on the blue pad as well with 3.5 to go. That game between Brampton and Oakville. If you're looking for that, it's on the JVI main channel. As back on the restraining line to our left, Peyton Wallace got right into the back and dropped his man. Or excuse me, was dropped. As it's Whitby that controlled possession here. Over the shoulder shot, wide of the cage. Gonna bounce off a couple boards, and look at that. Seeing eye pass from Dyson Williams. And 2 quick ones there for Whitby. Dyson Williams could be the next Ontario Junior Lacrosse League superstar. With passes like that, he can score them as well, as we saw in the first period. I think already with 4 points in this game. Have to verify that number, but no stranger to this building either, as he's played Rock Elite League for a number of seasons. As a lot of back and forth ball movement here from Peterborough, but finally the shot going wide. Kells is down, looking to cover up, and he gets drilled into. Couple words for Carter Page, and incidental contact will be the ruling from the officials. I don't disagree. But you see buckets go flying, you never really know. And I think the lack of response from Whitby says that was probably the correct call. 15 on the shot clock. Ball bouncing around here for the Warriors as it finds its way back to Williams. A little bit of a give and go there. His shot, where's the ball? In the legs of Kells, but on the correct side of the goal line if you're a Peterborough Lakers fan. Here's another shot, quick in transition. This time Dobson making the save as they work it back up. Poitras down under 3.5 to go here in the second of 3 periods. 15 minutes stop time as Kells makes the save. Peterborough quickly with the rebound. Ogilvie passing back here to Vanderland. Ogilvy chasing that all the way just past center, leaping to make sure he wasn't called for over and back. This one will go over the line. Called off, though, as Dyson Williams touches up. A 1-on-3. Josh Dawick elects to slow down and wait for the change. Defense working over Williams. He'll set a pick for Graydon Hogg, who stops with the defense there. Dawick for Wesley. Leaping attempt for Hogg. He was taken out in midair. I'm not even sure they got a shot away. Big hit attempt there and sidestepping it. Carter Schott took himself into the boards as Zach Thompson got free. Thompson into the corner now and a big hit just as the shot was coming from Bushy. Picked up here by Barnable. Barnable trying to find the first man out of the door and force the habit. I almost called it Josh Dawick, but it's Brock Haley this time. The return pass a little too far in front of the intended recipient, Tyler Grandel. So Whitby will slow things down. Into the corner, big step fake. Dawick on the crease. His shot off of Kells may have ticked a bit of the post as well. 90 seconds left here in the period. A 2-goal lead for Whitby. And a bit too nonchalant there from Thistlethwaite. I heard someone yell, "Get it over." And not quite in time. 8 seconds. Again, the rule change coming into this season. One of the first orders of business for new Commissioner Mark Grimes was those rule changes. Bit of switch of the hands in midair for Poitras. Kells with the easy block. Under a minute to go now, 50 seconds. 15, though, in the Peterborough shot clock. Loose ball picked up by Whitby. Jake Doolittle out over center. Shot clocks aren't running. Count is down on the floor. Graydon Hogg keeping it outside. Now goes in for attack. Tried to get it back up to his man Dawick up top. And they were late enough that timeout called by Peterborough as they were set to take off down the floor. A number of whistles on this and the other side of the floor. But with 13.8 left, the Peterborough Lakers will try and get back within one before the end of the second period. Those whistles on the other side. I think a timeout over there as well. 10.3 left in the second period as the penalty goes up on the board. 3-3 tie between Brampton and Oakville over on the other side. Again, a tight match in game number one between Six Nations and Burlington over on that side. St. Catharines Athletics will face Kitchener-Waterloo next. That game coming up scheduled for 3 o'clock. Oakville and Six Nations at 5. Brampton and St. Catharines at 7. And then Burlington KW will finish out the night at 9 p.m. Those are your games coming up on the opposite pad. Unfortunately, no general admission fans allowed in the building due to COVID protocols. Admission is by invitation only here this weekend. This is the only way to see the action here on the JVI Sports Network. Play whistled in with Kells on the bench. Peterborough looking to get set up. Bit of a quick start for Hendricks. And initially the pass already, the play's broken up. Ball down, picked up by Whitby. Lots of time, airmailed, and heads up down in the end zone as that sails high over top of the net, the screening and everything. And it will remain a 5-3 score after 2 periods of play. Whitby and Peterborough third period coming up after we take a brief timeout. You're watching Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action on the JVI Sports Network. Back live on the red turf at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Where the Whitby Warriors lead the Peterborough Lakers by a score of 5-3. Back to our original floor configuration with Brett Dobson in the net to our right, Landon Kells down to our left. For this final 15 minutes. Couple of heavy hits being laid in the middle by Josh Dawick as the shot finally does come. Off the stick of Sean Wesley. There's a Wesley fan in the YouTube chat. Of course, if you're joining us live, you can join in on those chat conversations or on social media at JVI Video, at the OJLL. Dyson Williams over to Hogg. Hogg steps around the screen, takes the shot. Kells the save, and then Kells stepped out of the crease to lay the lumber on Graydon Hogg, who's been around that red crease a little too much for his liking over the first two periods. Over to the far side now. Hanrahan. Shot saved by Dobson. We've seen a couple 8-second calls, and you heard Dobson yell, hurry. You get his teammate, make sure the ball crossed that center line. Luke Robinson now. Bit of a change-up shot coming out of the corner by Brock Haley. Kells there to make that save, as not taking any chances this time is Adam Thistlethwaite. Sprinting up the floor. It was all for naught, though, as the ball is now picked up by Carter Schott. For real this time, Ryan. Josh Dawick will back his way from pressure and roll it all the way across the floor, where Dyson Williams has just joined the fray. Williams, now Dawick. For Brock Haley. Out to the man in front, Owen Boyle couldn't hang on. Boyle picks up the loose ball. Dawick the shot, and it went in, but after the shot clock. Initial shot off the glass, straight to Dawick, and no time to put it into what was an open cage with Kells diving across. Ball down here, a couple players fighting for it, and will bounce straight out into the stick of William Carnduff. And a slashing call coming behind the play, I believe. I think it's Andrew Dalton who's going to get it. We'll wait and find out. But Dobson is on the bench for the 6-on-5. Tyson Williams. Hogg doesn't want it. Wesley will go in the corner. This is Wesley. Far side, they tried to return there for Robinson and couldn't connect as it bounced off his stick. And it's not Dalton. I was mistaken. It's Mike Robinson. But it is still a slash. 3 minutes gone here in the third period. Trying to stretch the lead to 3 will be Whitby here. As Kells takes another opportunity to grab a drink. And he gets reset. Was down momentarily in that second period, but told the training staff he's good to go. And we'll see what the coaching staffs of these teams decide to do with their goaltenders this weekend. You would think that 4 in 2 days is a big ask from a junior A netminder who may not have played in 2 years. Has another good soak there. Man, we've seen a lot of block shots in this game, this time from Peterborough. And I believe it was Holden Lowe's responsible for that shot clock violation. Heads up here as big hit was developing for Tyler Hendricks. Hendricks filled in 3 Warriors players versus only 2 for Peterborough here on this loose ball. And 1:05 left in the power play. Jogged up by Peyton Wallace. He'll flip it off. Hidden ball play. It's in the stick of Wesley, though. He gets it in the corner. Wesley and Williams. They play catch now to Brock Strong. Williams steps and fires. This time it's good. Off the backboards into the stick of Robinson to the back of the net. And plenty of time to make it 6-3 for Whitby. 10:39 left to go. Initial shot from Williams. Bit of look what I found, Luke Robinson. And unlike the Josh Dawick play before it, plenty of time on the shot clock. 3-goal lead now for Whitby over Peterborough. As this will be pushed through pressure, Parker Pfeiffer. Shot off the right arm of Kells. Pfeiffer still with the loose ball. Man, that kid works hard. And watching him play Rock Elite League for a couple years as well. One of those spark plug type players. Bouncer up for Graydon Hogg. We pushed in the corner. Williams has eyes for the net, was tripped up though. And I didn't see the whistle unless he touched down in the crease, but I thought he was well clear. Moving screen, I believe, was the call. As a shot here the other way, goes to Peterborough and they'll score. Braden McGregor makes his way out of the pile. As that 3-goal lead dropped back down to 2 just as quick as it was formed. Early movement from Peterborough. At the dot, Tyler Grandel awards it to Schott and the Warriors, but the initial pass thrown away, and it'll be Ogilvie. And Hendricks back up top, a low shot from Robinson, save from Dobson. Some words being had at the restraining line, but with 9 minutes left to play, they'll keep it running back over center. Hard shot there, Brock Haley. And a pile up in front and extra. Playing a bit of leapfrog and kick of the stick and the gloves away. And everyone's finally made it back to their respective benches. Andrew Dalton. We've seen less than that called on both delay and on sportsmanlike already here this afternoon. As that shot goes wide. Rebound. Back for Zach Thompson, but on the shot he took a slash up in the helmet area. And jogging off is Ben McDonnell. A 2-minute slashing penalty up on the board and a 2-goal lead. Also there for the Whitby Warriors as the Peterborough Lakers trying to tighten it up here. Headed to the power play with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left. It'll only be about 2.5 hour turnaround for the Lakers as they come back to face the Toronto Beaches, who just played. Beaches looking to rebound from that big loss. 10-3 in game number 1 to Mimico. Bounce shot there from Hendricks in on Dobson. It is pulled out. Hendricks will get it back. Over to the far side. A couple fakes before ripping, and Dobson in there to freeze it against his right pad. 22 seconds gone in the penalty. Cardiff. Will Cardiff looking for help. He'll now direct traffic with a nod of the head. Cardiff back outside. Under 10 on the shot clock as he makes his way to the fan. Just dumped it into empty space, I believe. Graydon Hogg was in the area, but passed well behind him. And Peterborough will try and kill off a bit of this 1 minute that's left now on their penalty. Halfway through their shot clock. Hendricks up top for Robinson. Far side, whoa, huge fake low going back high. And must have hit the side of the cage because the clock didn't reset. And no over and back, but the shot clock violation is called. 30 seconds left here in the power play of Peterborough. Whitby can take it all the way down if they so desire. Lucas Osborne. Pardon me, that's Adam Poitras who has it. Up top for Boyle. Boyle faked like he was going to go in. Now turns and fires against a double team. Owen Boyle, what a goal. That's 2 of those we've seen from Whitby now in this game. Owen Boyle would not be denied. Just like Luke Robinson before him. No look, turned and fire, and another ball taken out of play. So both of those in spectacular muscle fashion. Look to be the first in the career of their respective players. Moving screen called as Owen Dale got too much of Parker Pfeiffer as the penalty expires. 7-4 in favor of Whitby, halfway through our 3rd period. Again, only playing 15 minutes here to kind of save the legs of the players a little bit and hopefully keep our games on schedule. That shot there for Kells. Up for Thistlethwaite. I've been told that's just for this tournament. Once we get back to normal traveling around the province scheduling, they will go back to 20 minutes. Someone did message me and ask if that was a rule change as well, but I believe we're still 3 20-minute periods under normal circumstances. Back out to the crease, comes up for Carndiff. Carndiff bouncer to Robinson. Williams high steps his way into a shot. English on it in the crease. And the Warriors forward trying to take it out of the stick of Kells. He'll take it from the crease, but not the stick. And he's called for the goalie violation. Hendricks with it now. Big body rumbling in. Back for Dalton. Now Hendricks looking for help, but there's one late coming off the bench and still not here, even with 6 on the shot clock. Dalton through a crowd and Peterborough player stuck in the crease. A lot of whistles behind us. Action must be getting good over on the blue turf. Yes, there is 2 different turfs down at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center now, and they look fantastic. Those games are streaming over on our main JVI channel. No over and back here as on the red side, as they say it tipped off Peterborough player, but it'll be a moot point as it's a shot clock violation anyways, as Peterborough makes changes. 6 games over on that side. As man, oh man, Cole Hanneran was getting worked over and then a big hit right in front. Was that Hanneran again? Man, tough shift for him as he gets up. I actually believe that was Jaden Bushy who got bowled over in front of the crease. Sean Wesley. Quickly far side, spinning back is Poitras for Dawick. Shoots through a crowd, somehow gets it on target. And the same direct line of sight as that shot, and the defender just got out of the way last second. Thistlethwaite. And Robinson now. Wanted to return to Thistlethwaite, but Robinson will keep with 10 seconds on his shot clock. Thistlethwaite, far side, a couple of stutter steps before it got to the crease. Now back for Osborne. Hard shot there, and Robinson off the arm of, I believe that's Scott Reed, who's getting fist bumps, and he'll get more from the bench when he gets back there. And absolutely no reaction from Reed either. And then Reed goes back to defensive work, taking his man to the turf. What a shift for Scott Reed. Get the fist bumps ready over on that Whitby bench for number 23 in black. Here's Sean Wesley, 15 on the shot clock. Whitby still nursing that 3-goal lead. Closing in on the final 2 minutes to go here. Dyson Williams through traffic, takes a couple hits and scores yet again. And remember when I said I was going to look up his point total? I didn't. But I'm sure that's 6 at least for Dyson Williams out of the 8 that they've scored, including now 2 goals for number 51. And a 4-goal lead with 2 minutes left to go. And I believe we are ahead of that other game. So when we do finish, and you want to flip over, you can catch the end of Brampton and Oakville. Sounds like it's gotten a little bit spicy. And hey, if you don't make it in time, all games will also be archived. So nothing to do this week and you need a lacrosse fix. How about check out some of the 22 games over this weekend from here at the Toronto Rock Athletic Center. Owen Boyle takes it himself, goes airborne, and Kells is going to land on top of him. Kells looked like he took more exception to that than his bench did. Wants to know if they want him to leave, and the answer is no. Now he comes. Thistlethwaite to the far side, extra attacker on. It was Bushy who heard footsteps and passed it to open space. Now Hendricks, down low Robinson, fires hard off the end boards. This one bounces off the boards near the timekeeper's box, and I was wondering if it was going to be on target. Dyson Williams wants to get there for the quick restart, but I don't think the officials were going to let him as Kells was sprinting all the way from the box. 8-4 as we near the final minute of play here. Our producer has been Gary Morrison, our director Ryan Harkness. As this is game number 2 of 5 from here on the red turf. This afternoon, part of 11 on the day, 22 on the weekend. As the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League season gets underway, 40 seconds left here in the third period. Whitby content to just keep it all the way outside. Williams. Bouncer to Dawick. Open space with Wesley. Far side in the corner. Shot clock down to 5. And now turning, going to the net, and stripped was Poitras, who had thoughts of a quick shot, but a timeout will be called here by Peterborough. And again, we're not sure. Some teams have been practicing. It depends what part of the province you're in and perhaps where you could have found space and time. So this could just be a goalie out play. It could be something to work on here in the final possession for Peterborough, as that's going to set up a massive game between the Lakers and the Beaches coming up at 5 p.m. You do not want to go 0-2 on your first day with only 8 games on the schedule. And it looks like that'll be the case for one of the Peterborough Lakers or Toronto Beaches. Mimico will face Orangeville coming up at 3 p.m. And then Orangeville returns to the floor to face the Whitby Warriors in our nightcap at 7 p.m. That one will be a dandy of a game as well. 6-3, I believe, is your final over on the other side, as the Brampton Excelsiors knock off the Oakville Buzz. Game that you can check out on our main channel. Here in the dying seconds, the play is set up and it's off the pipe from the far side, and running away is Barnable, but he'll get as far as center before the horn sounds. And indeed, it will be the Whitby Warriors picking up an 8-4 victory. Some words between a couple players, but everyone will go their separate ways. And again, as I said, that sets up an interesting matchup at 5 p.m. Eastern time here. The Peterborough Lakers and the Toronto Beaches from here on the red turf. We await the arrival of the Orangeville Northmen and Mimico Mountaineers, scheduled for a 3 p.m. face-off time. That's about 40 minutes from now. We thank you for watching. I'm Matthew Carrick for the JVI Sports Network, and we hope that you will continue to join us throughout the day as we bring you Ontario Junior Lacrosse League action from the Toronto Rock Athletic Centre.